Tadej Pogačar will never break this record. It is quite literally impossible. Section 1. Meet the Hautacam beast, introducing the climb, the record and context. Welcome to the climb that humbles even cycling gods. Hautacam. Around 7.8% gradient over roughly 13.5 kilometers to 1,520 meters of elevation. This is insane. It's so gnarly that just finishing it in under 37 minutes is considered heroic. Yet in 1996, Riis obliterated it in 34:40, a pace modern riders still whisper about. Then in 2025, Tadej Pogačar dared to inch close with 35:08, registering the second fastest time ever up the climb. To prove how absurd the standards are, Lance Armstrong, amid his disqualified era, only managed 36:19, barely the third fastest time since Riis. In fact, Armstrong's 2000 ride ranks around 14th on his own personal list across all climbs at Hautacam or elsewhere. Here's the point. Pogačar finished a staggering 28 seconds slower than Riis, on the same slope, same roads, almost 30 years later with better gear and training. Some fans and pundits insist that he will never get within Riis's mythical 34:40 barrier. Why? Well, there's numerous reasons, but one of them is that the record is rumoured to be from another dimension. Section 2. The Riis enigma. Suspicious whispers, doping confessions, and timing accuracy debates. Of course, some people don't whisper, they shout. That record is suspicious. Why? Because Riis apparently has a lot of connotation and suspicions revolving around doping and EPO use during 1996 tour. He became infamous as, quote, Mr. 60%, a nickname referencing rumoured hematocrit levels near 60%, well above natural limits. So yes, things were pretty dodgy back then, and this led a lot of fans to think that the record is totally tainted. But to be clear, there's never been proof of mechanical timing errors or retroactive disqualification of the ascent record itself, only speculations fueled by his doping admission. Here's a quote from Cycling News recounting Pogačar's near miss. Quote, Tadej Pogačar's claimed victory, finishing in 35:08, a very impressive ride, though just shy of Riis's record. Now toss in skepticism from fans online like Reddit. Quote, what really gets me is all the people that say something to the effect of, obviously he is doping, or clearly cheating. It isn't obvious or clear. It is just a hunch some people have. There is no evidence, but they have already made up their mind. Another Reddit user said, I've been watching cycling long enough to get some serious Riis. Patani, Armstrong, etc. Their vibes from the performances we're witnessing this year. These fan musings reveal a community uneasy with Riis' legacy, and fiercely protective of Pogačar's clean reputation. Section 3. Pogačar's ride. Brilliant yet inadequate. Heroic yet inadequate. Let's talk about Tadej Pogačar because the guy gave it everything. Even if it wasn't good enough, in the 2025 Stage 12, he surged up Hautacam in 35:08, reclaiming yellow jersey and stunning his rivals. That's about half a minute slower than the immortal 34:40. Routinely, in modern pro eras, races are won by tenth of seconds, but here, a 28-second gap looms. It's unbelievable. His effort was calculating, fierce and technically perfect, rain, gravel, pro gradients, all. Yet pundits immediately proclaimed, beautiful ride but still second all time. No amount of power data, altitude acclimatization, aero equipment or cheese sandwiches could close the gap of decades. In effect, they argued he's racing Riis's ghost. Section 4. Voices from the peloton. Riders, fans, and real quotes. You wanted real voices, here are real quotes and fan commentary, drawn from interviews and Reddit threads. From Cycling News, quote, Pogačar falls just short of Bjarne Riis' 1996 Hautacam record. Quote, Hautacam, Armstrong was quickest, but didn't trouble Riis' record. Quote, obviously he is doping. It is just a hunch. There is no evidence. Quote, I've been watching cycling long enough, get some serious Riis, Patani, Armstrong, etc. vibes. This isn't made up rhetoric, it's honest, raw commentary from knowledgeable cycling fans. Section 5. Conclusion. Why it's almost impossible, in our opinion, for Pogačar to break it, and maybe even historic absolution for Riis. So here we are, Tadej Pogačar did a breathtaking 35.08 in 2025, but the bar he was chasing, a 34.40, set almost 3 decades earlier by a rider who was under some rather questionable circumstances, stands like an archaeological relic. The margin is just too wide, the conditions are too different, and the legend too stubborn. Modern bicycle technology, yes. Training science, power meters, altitude hypoxia tents, sure, but none of that is allowed to erase or tweak the 28-second difference. Riis' ghost still rides that climb alone. And pundits. Many believe that no matter what Pogačar does, scrutiny will follow. Fan forums are quick to compare him to Riis, Patani and Armstrong's shadow, but swift to defend him as, quote, no evidence of doping on Pogačar's part. Thus the narrative builds itself. Tadej Pogačar will never break this record. It's impossible. Because to do so, he'd not just have to be the greatest climber ever, inventing a watts per kilo benchmark for occultes, but also somehow retroactively justify the integrity of Riis' performance. And that is where history triumphs over physiology. Final thoughts. Riis set the record nearly 30 years ago. It's still worshipped as his all-time time ever. Pogačar comes close in 2025 and is hailed a hero, but still just second. Fans argue whether the record is accurate, whether Riis benefited from dodgy timing gear or EPO boost, but all they've got is suspicion, not proof. Yet the cycling world treats Riis' 34.40 as sacred, while Pogačar's 35.08 is just so close but still a, quote, nice try son. So yes, record untouchable, impossible to break, a monument of suspicion and nostalgia, and the ghost of Riis rides on, 28 seconds ahead, untouched and untouched in the annals of mountain mythology. Thanks for watching today's video. If you're new, please subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of the latest cycling news, cycling drama and cycling results. Before you go, consider commenting down below your opinions about this in the comment section. Also leave a like on today's video for good luck.